with love, Meghan. Whoa. She's got a smile and a spark, a recipe for everyday joy. In the kitchen, in the garden, making magic you can't destroy. She's mixing up the laughter with a pinch of something new. Invite a friend, roll up your sleeves. There's always a room for you. With love.
There are moments in life when love feels so tangible. You can almost taste it. Not because it comes served on a silver platter, but because it's baked into the bread, sweetened into sugar, folded into the layers of a pie. Episode 3 of With Love Megan Season 2, Easy as Pie with Tan France, is precisely that, a celebration of love, of family, of the sacred rituals that bring us together. This is not just an episode about food, it's about memory, belonging, and the quiet revolution of living authentically, authenticity. A few years ago, Love Like Tan's and his husband was the subject of protest, scorned by governments and pulpits alike. The fearmongers shouted that the sky would fall, that society itself would collapse if two men or two women could love each other openly, raise children, and call themselves family. Yet here we are. The sky is still intact. The only thing that fell was hopefully prejudice and homophobia. As it always does when confronted with the truth, these things seem to go away, one hopes. Love wins. Love wins every time, in all its forms, in all its ways of manifestation. And in Megan's sunlit kitchen, with laughter flowing as freely as the honey stirred into the latte, love feels like the most natural ingredient in the world, isn't it? Welcome. This is Majesty's Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us.
Megan, do your thing, do your thing. From a one-pot pasta to a pie that'll make you sing. Oh, with love, Megan, in the sunshine or the rain. A little play, a dash of heart. She shows the joy in everything. Fruit in rainbow order, candles on the sill, telling stories round the table, learning, laughing, loving still. DIY and doodle, bake a cake or plant a tree. She'll show you every little trick to live.
The episode begins not in the kitchen, but in a bookstore, Megan's favorite local spot. Here, she carefully selects children's books for Tan's two sons, Isaac and Ishmael. It's such a small gesture, but one that tells us everything about Megan. She gives the gift of story in a world where so many still deny others the right to tell their own. Megan offers narratives, whimsical, playful, and lasting. She even embosses the books with personalized stamps for the children, teaching us that stories are not just gifts to be read, but heirlooms to be treasured. Already, the episode feels like a love letter to children, to imagination. Oh, I love it so much. To the little rituals that root a family. I'm telling you, people, creativity, imagination, never lose it, never lose it, never stop dreaming, never. It's the most beautiful thing that one can hold on to. I certainly don't ever going to give up. The world that sometimes allows me to escape and dream. It's beautiful, no matter the age. Absolutely beautiful.
With love, Megan, do your thing, do your thing. From a garden picnic to a cake that's fit for spring. Oh, with love, Megan, when friends and laughter ring.
When Tan arrives, warm, gracious, and bearing his husband's homemade bread, the heart of the episode unfolds. Together, they prepare French toast, the breakfast ritual that Tan makes for his children each morning. Think of that. French toast, not as a recipe, but as a daily act of love. Tam shares that his eldest son, who doesn't enjoy breakfast, will only eat if Papa makes French toast. I mean, I would be the same. I mean, give me some French toast. And so each morning, Tan does. Not because it's healthy, because it isn't. At least I don't think it is. Not because it's simple, but because it is a bridge between parent and child. A way of saying, I see you, I love you, and I want to start your day with joy. Megan listens, her eyes lighten up as she compares it to her own rituals with Archie and Lily, Prince and Princess. How presentation matters, how children notice beauty even in the small things, how breakfast can become sacred. Watching them side by side, a duchess and a designer, two parents from different backgrounds and traditions, is to see a universal truth that family is defined not by structure or dogma, but by love, and perhaps also by rich rituals. I can't say that word properly. Rituals, you see. One of the other words I can't pronounce properly. Rich. Oh, well, you know what I mean to say. Rituals.
A little mess, a lot of fun. That's the magic that she brings. Roll up your sleeves, we're doing it together. Try something new, every moment's getting better. With love, Megan.
From food, the episode moves into crafting. Megan and Tam making aprons for their children. Oh, so much fun. Here, the playfulness of the show shines the brightest, I think. Megan recalls her childhood love of calligraphy, while Tam confesses he was never an art class child, but always obsessed with clothing design. I'll tell you folks a little story. So similar to Tam, when I was a kid, I was obsessed a little bit with what people wore. And to entertain myself, as many of you knew, I was in and out of hospitals quite often. I would draw things. So my imagination and my creativity came to me as a blessing because it allowed me to exit whatever hospital room I was in, whatever doctors were saying, or whatever machine I was hooked up to, and to not feel the pain, to just fly outside and create these stories. And ever so often, when I was home, I would then try and put those stories on drawing paper. You know, those books with blank pages that you would use for water paint? Well, I used to have those. And I would just draw these, not very well, I must admit, but try my best, and I would create these very um, warrior type women that could could conquer everything, and there were these impressive, it wasn't the typical sort of Cinderella story. It was always a set of strong women, because I had strong women around me, and that's the example that I was drawing from. And I always sort of like to go against the grain of what, I don't know why, but I just did. Like if like the the prince was the one who rescued the princess, I was like, well, why can't the prince be all messed up and screwed up and let the princess rescue him and make him okay, right? Mind you, my ideas were not welcome in many places, but I kept it to myself. But anyways, getting back to this, I sort of did the same thing, which really made me connect um, with this episode a lot. So together, um, they they stamp and print and laugh their way through fabric creations that will go home with him for his boys in their creation of these aprons. And the thing that I loved is how Megan took, you know, things that were accessible in the kitchen, potato, lemon, lime, all of that stuff. The heart of a celery. Is this celery it's called? I think. It was just really sort of in my zone of creativity, because that's kind of nonsense that I would just absolutely love. It's not, because it's not just about the aprons themselves, right? That matter, but what they symbolize. It's about family. It's about messing things up together. Paint, stained hands, the memory of being seen and included. Once again, Megan is teaching us what she has taught through every episode of this series, that the ordinary can be transformed into the extraordinary when approached with love and intention. The simplest things can mean the most. You know, as I when I think about my dad, it's not the big things that I think of. It's the small, simple things that we did together. The most ridiculous things that even in those moments I never thought that they would mean anything to me as an adult, as a grown person. But as I miss him, it's those small things that I hold on to so dearly because they mean so much to me.
Do your thing from the kitchen to the garden. Let your happy spirit sing. Oh, with love, Megan. Send it out and watch it grow. When you do it with love, every day's a special show. With love.
And then the pies. Megan's hand pies, inspired by fast food apple pies she once brought herself as a treat after auditions. She shares that food for her is memory. The taste of a drive through pie, recalling the hope and struggle of her acting days. Tam too folds in his memories, speaking of family dishes, spices, and the Indian flavors he still cooks daily. Together they create something far greater than pastry. They create a metaphor for life. That what is simple can be profound. That sweetness often hides in unexpected places. That the best recipes are made not of perfection, but of joy. Watching them laugh as they seal pastry edges with forks. And I love how Megan said empanadas. And Tam was like, well, samosas. You see, cultures coming together. You know, the whole joke about cayenne spice. Let's put some heat into it. You cannot help but see two souls delighting not just in cooking, but in connecting. So delicious. So, 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 so delicious. I must say, I love me a pie when I'm in the UK. Okay? It doesn't matter what kind of pie, I love me a pie. It's just like, I don't know, pork pies, any pie, name it. When I'm in the UK, I'm like, yes, I'll have it, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it. Love it. Once again, thank you for being here. Every time you watch, comment, or share, it means more than you know. I pour my heart into this work because I believe in it. And clearly, if you're here, something brought you too, and it's not my pretty face. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is your moment. Click that button. It's free, and it makes a real difference. And hit the notification bell so you will be one of the first people to be notified when something new and meaningful goes up. If you feel moved by what we're building, consider going a step further. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link and a membership option if you'd like to help us keep this going strong. It's like lighting a little candle for something you believe in. And whether you're here quietly or loud and proud, leave a comment if you can. It helps the message travel. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. The most moving moment of the episode comes that moment with the exchange of gifts, or rather, when Megan presented the gift to Tam with a vintage, if I may use that word, masala daba, an Indian spice box, beautifully wrapped in Japanese style fabric. Tan's response is immediate and emotional: goosebumps, gratitude. Now, I'll confess, I got a little bit teary eyed. He promises to pass it down to his children, understanding instantly that Meghan has given him not just an object, but an heirloom. That is what makes Meghan so extraordinary. Really does. She doesn't just gifts. She gives meaning. She listens, she observes, and she offers what will last. Something rooted in heritage and culture and family. Watching them hold the masala dawa, you realize this episode is more than cooking, as I said before. It is a testament to how we honor each other's traditions, how we weave them into our own, and how friendship itself can become a form of family. Beautiful. I even love the jokes when Megan, when she puts the dry flower sprinkles and Dan goes, "That's the gayest I've ever seen." I couldn't stop laughing. I I think I might have fell off my seat. I'm not sure, but it was the funniest thing. Or when she said, "How about a rainbow?" Just casually, and he was like, "Hey, hang on a second. That's too much on the nose." I was, oh boy, it was so funny, so funny. I couldn't stop myself. You know, the episode ends as all perfect meals do, with a quiet reflection. Megan and Tan take their pies and chai to the beach, wrapped in sweaters against the cool evening air. The California sunset burns gold behind them. The ocean whispers at their feet. They talk of life, of children, of joy. They sip tea, break bread, or in this case, pie, and they laugh together. It is a picture of serenity, but also of defiance, really. For what could be more radical in a world still so fractured, so upside down, than two people, once strangers, now bound by friendship, celebrating love in all its forms. Episode 3 of With Love, Meghan is perhaps the one that got to me in many ways, in a powerful way. Not because of the recipes or the crafts, but because of the subtext. Here, Megan and Tan model a truth that societies, governments, and churches once tried to deny: that family is not limited by gender, tradition, or expectations. Family is born wherever love is nurtured. Mm. And for this guy who grew up in different cultures, each one of them saying things about the other that I didn't quite understand why. But in this odd way, they still loved me, even though I was a component of all of those different cultures. Family, family. They reminded us that rituals, breakfast together, crafting aprons, baking pies, are not trivial things, but the very foundation of belonging. They show us that gifts, when given with intention, they become legacy. And they invite us to believe with renewed conviction that joy is a form of resistance, that to live openly, lovingly, and authentically is itself a triumph. Love wins. It has to win. That's the hope. Ah, love wins. So I say, let the critics say what they will. Let the tabloids and all these talking heads of heartless and soulless people invent their bitter headlines. What we saw in this episode was joy. Joy. What we witnessed was authenticity. And what we learned again and again is that love, always win. It always will. Easy as pie.
Love, Meghan. Woo-hoo. Meghan.
And here we are. Here we are. I hope you enjoy the review summary in some ways and my take on this episode. As I watch each one of these episodes, I went into it with just to watch and enjoy it, right? Not yes, at the back of my head a little bit thinking about when I'm going to review it, what I might talk about. So I take some notes here or there. And for this episode, I remember watching it, and somewhere along the way, it just kind of hit me. I went, this is about family. This is about families. And I think that's what I saw. And it completely changed my approach. It changed how I was going to um, summarize and how I was going to review it. And you might have gotten something different out of it, right? And that's all good. I think it's wonderful when we're able to get different things and share point of views. For me, that entire episode was about families, and you might see it differently. And sharing that, it allows us to open little parts of us, right? That we are able to welcome different perspectives. I also want to say thank you very much for the amazing response you folks have had to the song, um, "Every Day in Their Mouth." I am flabbergasted, to be quite honest. I am always so pleased when something hits well with you folks. I do this not only for me; it's my outlet for artistic and creativity, and at the same time, it's my outlet to do something about what has happened and continue to happen with the Sussexes, because I identify a lot with their story, um, and with how society treats us, and it's so blatant, right? So blatant. So for me, writing those lyrics, it came really. I don't want to admit it, but it came really easily. Like, it was very quick because it was just such a matter of fact. And then as we put it to music and tune and all of that, and then for you folks to receive it in such a great way, I was like, oh my gosh, they like it. They like it. Oh my god, they like me. Who was it that said that? I think Sally Fields. Yeah, you said when she won the Oscar, I think. They like me. They really, really like me. Someone said that. But anyways, thank you so very much. Thank you for all of your comments. I've read them all, and they're just beautiful. I do want to highlight one of the comments because I think it's important, and I'm going to respond to it because I think what this subscriber. I hope you're a subscriber. um, I, sometimes I can't tell if a person is or isn't. And what they highlighted was something that I thought was very important, and I would like to read it to you, and then I'll respond because I think it's important. And the person wrote, "You're clearly a Sussex supporter and a very talented musician, but couldn't you find a more appropriate, gentle headline than 8 years of abuse? Why does headlines about anything to do with the Sussexes have a negative tone from the supporter channels? Isn't it enough that the toxic, racist, hateful, deranged, lazy drifter British media already do that in everything they say or write about the Sussexes? Is it because the negative tone of your video headlines will attract more clicks because the negativity sells? To write the beautiful songs that you have about our Megan and not celebrate them with positivity is a huge disappointment. I'll be it'll be great if you could rethink your headlines in future and do better. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. I think it's important and I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing so openly and honestly. I truly value when people in our community, in this community, take the time to reflect with me, reflect with on my work, on how I present it. It's all welcome because it shows the depth of love and care that we all have for the Sussexes, right? And I think that's just amazing. So I absolutely welcome your comment. And I got a comment similar to this about a year or so ago, and I think at the time I did address it too. And I'll say on the outset that I think that your concern is very important, and I hear you because if you have that concern, there's probably other people that have the same. Now, my intention with 8 years of abuse wasn't to mirror at all the negativity of the tabloids, but rather to sort of name the reality that they have endured, the Sussexes have, especially Meghan. because too often the reality gets buried or softened in ways that diminishes what they've actually gone through. I think sometimes calling it plainly is part of the work of truth telling. That, the UK media doesn't even admit that for the last 80 years, that's what they've been doing day in and day out. You have the Rangers, as we've called them, that don't even have the capacity to recognize abuse as it is. And I debated, I'll be honest with you, I debated whether to just put the title of the song, right? Every day in their mouth. And then when I kind of read it as a title, I went, that doesn't sound all that great to put there if the person hasn't heard the song. It sounds kind of weird. And I went with 8 years of abuse because it's reflective of what the press, the media has done. And they, up to this day, they get away with it. I've mentioned in other podcasts, like it's hard for me to actually in that same podcast where I did the entire song. One of my comments towards the end is exactly about the press. It's about institutions like women's groups, these international institutions that are supposed to be. Where are they? Where are the College of Journalism, right? I'm bringing all of those in because they need to be questioned as to why have none of these institutions stood up. You know what I mean? But with all that said, like I absolutely understand your desire for more celebratory and uplifting language, especially when paired with music and creativity. It's certainly a balance that I'm always thinking about. Um, Being truthful about the harm while also lifting up, their joy and love and resilience. That is why you'll see often in my content, if I go 2 episodes where I feel it's too heavy or the discussion's gone too heavy, I'll do like a short that is uplifting and joyful, or an episode that is joyful, because I try to find that balance, of course. um I take your feedback, all of you, your feedback to heart as I move forward. I always have and I always do. My goal has always been to stand in solidarity, always, because I this channel is part of my creative outlet. It's my way of doing something. When you feel like there's nothing you can do. And as I saw how they were treating Megan, and all the lies and all of that, I used to, I went to all the other um, Sussex friendly podcasts. I attended them for about a year, and then I thought maybe I should try also, um, to join the group of people who create the content, because there's so many hate channels out there, and that's been the purpose, right? I I try to give voice, both to, as I said, to the pain and the beauty of their story. And in regards to other channels, I can't speak for the channels and their thumbnails or their headlines. I really can't. I can only speak for me. And I'll tell you this. I mean, this is a small channel by all due regards, right? It's a tiny channel, and my intention has always been to grow the channel, for it to do well, for us to for like-minded people to find us and for us to find them and form community. And for me, it's really important, right, to have these kind of conversations, because then I'm able to gauge what might be working, what is not working. But I'll tell you this: in trying to grow the channel and all of that, I took an online course, sort of like, you know, how to grow your YouTube channel. And I'll tell you, I sort of refuse to do any of the things that they would like, you to do to grow your channel, because you're right. I mean, certain types of headline does attract people, and that's what they teach, to have these headlines that are shocking, that are provocative, because then people will stop, right, and they'll click on your video. I can promise you this: if I ever do that with intention, then there's no sense of me having this channel, because then it wouldn't be me. I'm not that person. I'm not out here looking for to shock people or to um, get clicks like that. I mean, I really don't. I came away from that virtual class thinking, well, I guess my channel will just stay the way it is, because whether it's this SEO and all the other things, like I'm not willing to compromise who I am, my values, my morals, the way I want to present things, um, and to find the balance. Even sometimes, listen, I feel sometimes uncomfortable calling out Kate, even though I'll have like a dossier of things to say about her, and and I'll start, and I'll be like, I don't know, should you say it? Should you not say it? Right? Even when I did one of my podcasts not too long ago, I started it with saying, "Listen, here's my disclaimer. I'm not saying any of these things for female bashing or anything like that. I'm just calling this person out, because that this is what these these women in UK media, this is what they consistently do to Meghan." So I know I'm talking too much now, so I'm going to wrap this up. Listen, thank you again for reminding me of the importance of tone, and I hope that you understand why. And I hope you're a subscriber, and if you're not, I hope you subscribe and you hang around. And for everyone else, like, this is such an important conversation to have, right? I appreciate it. I think it's great. It gives me an opportunity to talk on a subject that perhaps many of you are thinking about, and for you to know, where I land in all of this, and why. So I hope that helps a little bit. And yeah, and thank you. Honestly, thank you. I honestly appreciate it. I also, on another note, I am revamping the membership, or members offer. I've had some really interesting um, inquiry to have a tier that is higher, because there's some folks that want to support the channel more. And I love you. Thank you so very much. Um, and there's also some people who may want to also be members, but they would prefer a lower tier price. So I'm looking into that also, and hopefully I'll get all that presented to all of you either by the end of this week or by next week. I also have a bunch of new members that have been members now for months, and I have not given them the official Majesty Sussex welcome to the royal court. And usually, this sort of thing we do and members only get to see the sort of storytelling and all of that. But this time around, I think I'm planning something, extravaganza, like it's the coronation. So I wrote a couple of songs, and it's gonna be everyone will see it. Everyone will be able to watch it. So hopefully, I can get that all together and welcome our new members to the royal court in Majesty Sussex Way, which is out of this world. Literally, it's out of space. Literally. Again, my creative mind and storytelling. So I hope you'll show up for that, and I hope you'll enjoy it. It'll have music, and you know, my own little storytelling way of welcoming people to my our little corner here, our little creative corner. Thank you again. I love you all. Thank you for sticking it out with me, and for your valuable support. I love you all so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care of yourselves. Be kind, and love you. Ciao for now. Mwah.
With love, Meghan. Whoa. She's got a smile and a spark, a recipe for everyday joy. In the kitchen, in the garden, making magic you can't destroy. She's mixing up the laughter with a pinch of something new. Invite a friend, roll up your sleeves, there's always a room for you. With love, Meghan, do your thing, do your thing. From a one-pot pasta to a pie that'll make you sing. Oh, with love, Meghan, in the sunshine or the rain. A little play, a dash of heart, she shows the joy in everything. Fruit in rainbow order, candles on the sill, telling stories round the table, learning, laughing, loving still. DIY and doodle, bake a cake or plant a tree. She'll show you every little trick to live more joyfully.